Leo, something major is coming. A powerful financial breakthrough is already on its way to you, and someone has been quietly watching, admiring you from afar. That's not a metaphor. It's not a sweet idea. It's a message. You didn't land here by mistake. The reason you clicked on this video at this exact moment is because the universe has been working behind the scenes to bring you to a place of recognition, reward, and divine surprise. This message is confirmation. A blessing is being delivered to your doorstep, and it comes with both money and love. Welcome to Eternal Mindfulness, where we don't chase horoscopes, we decode spiritual instructions for those who are ready to receive them. There's something sacred about what's happening in your energy right now. You're not just about to experience a financial reward. You're about to realize that all your silent effort, all your unseen work, and all your heartbreak behind closed doors were never in vain. They were investments. And now the universe is about to repay you with interest. You may have felt exhausted. Maybe you've wondered if what you're doing even matters anymore. But Leo, you need to know this. The moment you felt like giving up was when things actually started shifting. Right now, the energy of the chariot is surrounding you. This is divine movement, momentum, acceleration. It means no more delays. Something or someone is coming fast. It may arrive as a job offer, a client, an inheritance, a contract, or even a gift you didn't expect. But it will come. And it will come soon. Alongside it is the Ace of Pentacles, the beginning of financial security. A seed. An opening. A key to your next chapter. But here's the part that might catch you off guard. While you've been focused on survival and growth, someone has been watching you, admiring your strength, your brilliance, your light. You might not see them yet. But in September, this secret admirer may step forward. And whether it's romantic or professional, it will feel like destiny whispered the perfect timing into their heart. So before we go deeper into today's message, into the numbers, the guidance, and the signs that are showing up just for you, I want to take a sacred pause. Thank you. Truly. Your presence here means more than you know. Every comment, every like, every share and subscription is a signal not just to me, but to the energy field around you that you are open to what's next. That you are choosing to walk in alignment. That you believe something greater is guiding your steps. And I believe that too. With everything in me. So Leo, stay with me until the end of this video, because the things the universe is about to reveal will not only confirm what you've been feeling, but help you claim what you've been praying for. Now take a breath with me. Center yourself. And if you feel this message opening something inside you, drop a comment right now to confirm it. Say it out loud or type it below. I'm ready to receive what's already mine. Because this time, you won't miss it. The moment you feel something shifting within you, that subtle pull, that sense of anticipation that's hard to name but impossible to ignore, that is when you know the universe has begun to whisper. And Leo, this is exactly where you are now. You're not just moving toward opportunity, opportunity is already moving toward you. You are in the magnetic field of divine momentum, and the Chariot card is its clearest expression. This archetype isn't passive. It doesn't wait, hesitate, or retreat. It accelerates. It pushes past doubt, inertia, and fear. It represents not just motion, but focused motion, movement with intention, with urgency, and most importantly, with power. Astrologically, The chariot carries the vibration of celestial propulsion like Mercury in direct motion after retrograde, like Pluto unleashing suppressed truths and transforming them into gold. When these planetary forces are aligned, we don't tiptoe toward purpose. We charge forward, pulled by divine reins. Add the influence of the moon in a fire sign Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius and we get an emotional ignition, a spiritual flare that sets everything in motion. You don't just hope, you act. You don't just dream, you pursue. You don't wait for proof, you become the proof. Numerologically, the number 7, the number assigned to the chariot, holds sacred meaning. It's not only about spiritual reflection and inner awareness, it is about the triumph of faith over fear. It tells the story of moving forward when nothing around you seems to say, go. It's the quiet trust that you are not being reckless, but brave. That even if you can't yet see the full map, the very act of stepping out is the path forming beneath your feet. And in that trust, miracles begin to occur. Now let's bring this closer to your life, your moment. Leo, if you felt stagnant lately, if you've been holding on, staying in place, trying to be realistic, understand this, realistic doesn't always mean right. The chariot arrives when your soul says, enough waiting. It's time to move. It's time to send that email, take that meeting, respond to that message, follow up on that intuitive nudge. These are not coincidences. These are coordinates. And something is aligning so rapidly now that even 7 days from now, your reality may look different. This isn't just motivation. It's a strategy of the soul. In practical terms, say yes to the unexpected. Open every door figuratively and literally. Check your inbox. Revisit that old opportunity. Look through your missed calls. The opportunity that's about to change your life may not be wrapped in glitter or trumpeted loudly. It may show up as a quiet invitation, a gentle nudge, a conversation you almost ignored. Don't. And if you've ever prayed for a sign, this is it. The spiritual equivalent of the Red Sea parting. The inner knowing that now is not the time to pause. It's the time to move, even if you're afraid, even if you're uncertain. Especially then. Let your momentum become your medicine. Let the direction itself be your healing. You are not being forced into this season. You are being lifted into it. And the grace that follows will not be because you sat still and waited. It will be because you heard the whisper and you chose to answer it. If this resonates with you, even just a small echo in your spirit, say it with me in the comments now. Write it down and claim it. I'm ready for divine momentum. Let that be your signal to the universe. Let that be your permission to receive what's already yours. If the chariot represents divine momentum, then Ace of Pentacles is the moment the seed touches the soil. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. But it is sacred. And Leo, this is where you are right now, holding something in your hands that may look small on the outside but carries the vibration of long-term prosperity. Ace of Pentacles doesn't promise overnight miracles. It promises something better, rooted wealth, real growth, and a future that doesn't vanish when the wind changes. And just like a seed knows how to break through the darkness underground before anyone sees its bloom, the opportunities forming around you now are quietly building and they're ready to sprout. This card is often misunderstood because it speaks in whispers. But the whispers are significant. They say, be consistent. They say, nurture what's beginning. They say, your breakthrough won't always look like fireworks, sometimes it looks like discipline. Financial opportunity doesn't always arrive as a jackpot. Sometimes, it arrives as a well-timed invitation, a side project you almost ignored, or a skill you quietly honed that's now in demand. This month, those tiny threads, the things you've been planting without even knowing if they'd take root, are beginning to stretch toward the light. Energetically, Ace of Pentacles is pure earth energy, slow, stable, dependable. It doesn't rush. It teaches us that real security doesn't come from chasing more, but from stewarding what you already have with intention. That client that calls out of nowhere? That idea that keeps tugging at your spirit? That conversation that feels too aligned to be random? These are the early sprigs of something sacred. Don't overlook them because they're not yet in full bloom. And here is where the law of attraction becomes more than a concept, it becomes a tool. When you place your attention on value, not lack, the universe mirrors it back to you in tangible form. Not always in the way you expect, but always in the way you're ready for. That's why this is a perfect time to anchor your energy through financial rituals that aren't based in greed, but in grounded gratitude. Write the number you wish to receive this month. Speak it out loud. Say it over your water before you drink. Whisper it into your journal like a prayer. Energy obeys clarity. Wealth flows where welcome is made intentional. And while we often seek answers in action, healing sometimes starts in stillness. That's where practical self-help meets energetic alignment. Start with 5 minutes of financial meditation each morning, not just imagining stacks of money, but seeing yourself safe, supported, and sustained. Write down 3 things you're grateful for regarding money. Not just big things, even small moments like paying a bill with ease or finding a coin in the street. These actions rewire your emotional relationship with abundance and let the universe know, I'm already in the vibration of receiving. No matter how much you've struggled financially in the past, today is a new chapter. And if you're honest with yourself, you might even feel the shift already. Like a door is unlocking. Like a current is changing. Like you're not pushing as hard, but somehow things are starting to respond. If any part of you feels this is true, even just a flicker, I want you to say it out loud or write it in the comments right now. I am planting seeds of financial abundance, and I trust in the harvest that's coming. Let that be your signal to yourself, to your higher self, and to the field of creation surrounding you that you are no longer chasing. You are cultivating. And something beautiful is about to grow. You've planted the seed. You felt the ground shifting beneath your feet. But now comes the moment that separates the wishful from the willing, the moment where preparation meets motion. This is the message behind the boot: increase your efforts. And for you, Leo, this isn't just a motivational quote. It's a cosmic directive. You weren't designed to be average. You were built to lead. And leadership, as the stars will tell you, is rarely convenient and never passive. The boot card, especially when paired with the Knight of Pentacles, speaks not only to movement but to meaningful movement. This is not about hustle for hustle's sake. This is about conscious action aligned with your higher path. The Knight of Pentacles doesn't run blindly into the storm. He maps it. He studies the terrain. And then when his moment comes, he moves with calm, steady power. It's about showing up when no one's watching, staying devoted when progress feels slow, and still believing when results haven't yet materialized. Now imagine what happens when that steady devotion meets Leo's fire. When the quiet commitment of the night is ignited by your inner sun, your ruling planet, your source of radiant will. That's when momentum becomes unstoppable. That's when breakthroughs become inevitable. Especially in seasons when the sun crosses paths with Uranus, the planet of revolution, reinvention, and electric change, you'll feel the inner pull to shake things up. And trust me, when Leo and Uranus dance, the results are anything but subtle. This is the cosmic green light for you to take bold, creative action and break free from whatever has kept you stagnant. But let's slow down for a second. Because even the most powerful energy needs direction. And this is where intentionality becomes your secret weapon. What are 3 things, small or big, that you can do today to move closer to the life you want? Not someday. Not when you feel like it. Now. Maybe it's replying to that email. Starting that YouTube channel. Calling the person you keep putting off. Or maybe it's just making your bed like someone who believes they deserve order, beauty, and flow. The size of the step doesn't matter. What matters is consistency. This is also a perfect moment to lean into energetic support systems, not as superstition, but as tools for recalibration. Color, for instance, has frequency. Wear burnt orange or gold to activate courage and personal power. Surround yourself with emerald green to stabilize your heart center as you move forward. Your body, too, is a sacred vessel for transformation. Climb stairs instead of taking the elevator. Stretch each morning while repeating a mantra of leadership. Every motion becomes a metaphor for your rise. Even your diet can participate in your momentum. Foods like turmeric, ginger, and citrus not only support physical health, but energetically activate the solar plexus, the energy center associated with willpower, confidence, and decision-making. When you nourish your body intentionally, you send a signal to the universe: I'm ready to carry the weight of my next chapter. There's a reason this message found you now. It's because something or someone is watching how you respond. Your next elevation won't be unlocked by waiting. It will be unlocked by moving. You don't need perfection. You don't need permission. You need courage and the willingness to go first. So ask yourself gently, yet honestly, are you ready to take the next step? If your answer is yes, even if your hands still shake, let me know in the comments. I am the light. I lead. I am closing in on my victory. That sentence is more than words. It's a vibration. And today, Leo, that vibration could be the spark that opens every door. Sometimes what you've been seeking doesn't show up as a sudden breakthrough, a bold announcement, or a dramatic event. Sometimes, it enters quietly like a gentle gaze from across the room, like a message that was never sent but always felt. And this, Leo, is the energy of the bouquet. The card of quiet recognition. Of unseen eyes. Of admiration that blooms not from the spotlight, but from the soul. After all your effort, your healing, and your silent inner work, the universe is sending you a moment of reflection through someone else's eyes. You are being noticed. And more than that, you are being chosen. This part of your reading is not just about romance or flirtation. It's deeper than that. It's about value. Worth. Beauty seen and acknowledged in a way that perhaps you haven't felt in a while. Think of the bouquet not just as a physical gift, but as a spiritual reward. Every petal represents a moment where you showed up authentically, even when no one clapped. Every stem is a thread of energy from someone whose heart resonated with your light, even if they never said a word. And now, that energy is moving. Something or someone is preparing to express what they've long carried inside. From a symbolic point of view, this moment invites you to soften. To make space not only for money or success, but for sweetness. For connection. For tenderness. The law of attraction teaches us that like attracts like. But it also teaches us that we attract what we are brave enough to receive. So many people unknowingly reject love because they've grown too accustomed to guarding their hearts. And understandably so. Love, especially the kind that sees you fully, requires vulnerability. But here's the truth. Your ability to receive admiration is directly connected to your ability to receive abundance. They flow through the same channel. One opens the other. This is why inner work and outer manifestation are never truly separate. When you let yourself be seen without shrinking, you invite everything meant for you to find you faster. That compliment you want to brush off? Receive it. That person who suddenly enters your orbit with kindness or curiosity? Lean in. That conversation you almost dismissed? Open the door. Your soul has asked for more than financial gain. It has asked to be mirrored, witnessed, valued. And the universe is answering that request through human connection. Let this also be a reminder, not all support looks like financial backing. Sometimes it comes as emotional support, spiritual encouragement, or simply the soft presence of someone who believes in you without conditions. This is the kind of energy that heals the heart without fixing the past. It reminds you that you're not too late, not too much, and never invisible. And if you've been wondering whether someone's been noticing your journey, the answer is yes. You've touched people more deeply than you know. There's admiration circling you, ready to land. A conversation. A compliment. Maybe even a confession. Let it come. Let it affirm what you already know. You are worthy of love in all its forms. If you feel this in your heart, if there's even a part of you that's been hoping for quiet recognition, for softness wrapped in sincerity, then I invite you to breathe into that space now. And say it. Declare it in the comments so the energy becomes real. I open my heart to love, to admiration, and to true connection. Let that be your offering. Let that be your permission. Because what's coming next won't just touch your life, it will touch your heart. And you deserve that kind of bloom. When everything around you begins to shift, when choices seem to multiply and paths open where there used to be walls, the mind can rush into a frenzy trying to predict, decide, control. But Leo, your power in this moment isn't about control. It's about flow. This final part of your message is a sacred reminder. You are not here to force outcomes. You are here to align with them. The energy of, in the flow, paired with, many choices, isn't meant to confuse you. It's meant to show you how deeply supported you truly are when you surrender the illusion of having to do it all perfectly. There are seasons for action, and you've already taken brave steps. Now, this is the season to tune in. Because while the world may tell you that clarity comes from logic, the soul knows that real direction often begins in stillness. Sometimes, choosing not to rush, not to prove, not to perform is the boldest action of all. The universe is inviting you into a quieter kind of courage. A state of being where your choices aren't driven by fear of missing out, but by resonance. You're not looking for the loudest option. You're listening for the one that makes your whole body exhale. In astrology, this moment feels like Neptune's influence softening the need to define things too quickly, urging you to move like water instead of fire. When you surrender to this frequency, you begin to notice subtle signs that guide you. A recurring number. A vivid dream. A message you hear twice in the same day. These aren't random. They are spiritual coordinates aligning your outer world with your inner knowing. This is a perfect time to return to simple spiritual practices that help you clarify what you truly want. Each morning, pull a tarot or oracle card. Don't ask for the future, ask for alignment. Ask, what is the energy that would serve my highest expansion today? Keep a journal, not for productivity, but for vision. Write as if your future self is already living the life you're dreaming of. What are they doing? Who are they surrounded by? How do they speak? How do they walk into a room? You're not waiting to become that version of you, you're remembering that version already lives inside you. Create a vision board that speaks to all parts of your being. Not just goals, but feelings. Don't just post pictures of money or vacations. Include images that evoke peace, connection, power. Images that reflect the emotional vibration of what you want to feel when your dreams manifest. And let this board be a mirror reminding you that you are already in the process of becoming. Even small acts can signal readiness. Change your profile picture to reflect the version of yourself you're stepping into. Reorganize your space in a way that mirrors clarity. Say no to something that doesn't align, not because it's wrong, but because you're choosing what's right for you. And when overwhelm visits, because it will remind yourself that having many choices is not a burden. It's evidence of your expansion. The soul always has options. The question is no longer, what if I choose wrong? The real question is, what feels most true to me now? So pause. Breathe. And instead of asking, what should I do, ask, what brings me back to myself? Because that is the path. That is always the path. And if this part of the journey is speaking to you, if something inside you is awakening to the power of choice and alignment, I invite you to comment below. I have the power to choose, and I choose light. I choose success. I choose the truth of who I am. That declaration alone can shift timelines. And Leo, your timeline is already unfolding, one aligned choice at a time. If you've made it to this point in the video, Leo, I want you to pause, not to think harder, but to feel deeper. Because something inside you knows this message wasn't just words on a screen. It was confirmation. Confirmation that you're not lost. That you're not behind. That you're not waiting for your moment. Your moment is already circling, preparing to land. And more importantly, it's not coming to rescue you. It's coming to reflect the version of you that's finally ready to receive. You see, no one else can decide when you're ready. Not your past. Not your fears. Not even your circumstances. That decision, the one that changes everything, has always been yours. The truth is, the universe can only give what you're willing to claim. So ask yourself gently, have you opened your hands, or are you still clenching your history? Have you allowed new energy in, or are you still guarding old wounds? These aren't questions of shame, they're invitations. Invitations to soften. To open. To choose. You've learned throughout this message that wealth isn't just about money. It's about recognition, alignment, joy, freedom, and relationships that nourish your spirit. But it starts with a shift. Not outside. Inside. So what would happen if you truly believed that your next financial blessing was already on its way? What would you do differently tomorrow morning if you knew someone was admiring you, waiting for the right moment to come forward? Would you sit a little taller? Would you speak a little clearer? Would you finally take that one step you've been hesitating on? Because the point of this message isn't just to inspire you. It's to activate you. You already have the roadmap. You've heard the signals. Now it's about movement, not rushed, but intentional. You get to decide how your story continues from here. Will you keep dimming your light to stay safe, or will you finally step into the role you were born for? I want to thank you for sharing this space with me. Every like, every share, every comment, they don't just help this message reach others. They ripple outward. They declare to the world, and to your own subconscious, I believe in something more. I believe in timing, in healing, in divine reward. And I believe in my power to receive it. So if today's message resonated with you, if something in your spirit felt seen, understood, or even just gently stirred, I invite you to speak that into reality. Drop a comment right now that says, I am ready to receive everything good that's meant for me. Let that sentence be your seed. Let it be your permission. And let it be the starting point for what comes next. Don't forget to subscribe to Eternal Mindfulness. This is more than a channel. It's a home for the ones awakening. A place to return when the world feels too heavy, too loud, or too confusing. Each week, we dive deep into the messages that matter, not just for your zodiac sign, but for your soul's journey. Until next time, remember this: you don't need to force what's already yours. Just stay open, stay aligned, and stay in motion. Because the victory you've been waiting for, the love, the success, the recognition, it's not just possible. It's promised. All you have to do now is receive it.